I can tell by how much I'm talking to this camera right now that I don't talk to people enough, because I could talk to this camera like it was a human for too long, like a concerning amount of time. Hello, we are back for our regularly scheduled content. If you watched my last video, you might have seen that I said, I have so much time on my hands this semester. I have no excuses. Oh, hi Stevie. I just have a cat and one class, and that's all, so I can upload all the time and make all this great content. Well, that didn't happen. But here we are, and I was especially bored and lonely living on my own with just my cat to keep me company tonight, so I decided I would get some caffeine and grab my camera and make a life update stream of consciousness video, because that is just about as much as I can handle right now, and my cat is biting my leg very hard. Ow, Steven. So since my last video, my cat moved in with me. I tried to make a video about that, and I got about 5 minutes into filming and gave up. Here's Stevie. It's too dark for you to see her. Well, hi. She makes me happy when everything else in my life is going terribly. So I actually got a doctor to write me a note saying she is my emotional support animal, because otherwise my landlord was going to kick her out of my apartment. But no worries, she is medically cleared. She's clearly very well trained. Anyway, so I just thought I would try to make some sort of update about my life for those who are interested, and maybe mostly just so that I can look back when I hopefully have my life together more and see how cute little distressed me was at trying to become an adult. So right now I am I'm less than 2 months away from graduating college. A couple of weeks ago I decided I would take a very impromptu trip out to LA, because I'm gonna have a degree in video production, and it seems like a place where jobs would be to get a job once I graduate. And I hate to even say that. Oh God, my cat just laid on the tripod. Stevie. I hate to even say, like, oh, I'm gonna move to LA, because there's such a stigma around it, I think. I don't know. People who live in LA seem to not want more people to move to LA. And people who live in the Midwest get annoyed, I feel like, with people who think they're gonna make it out in LA. But, like, I don't know. I'm gonna make it in LA, you know? Like, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm going to make something happen. Like, I don't have any big expectations for myself, except that I think I'll be happy. And my trip was really awesome. I felt like it lasted 2 seconds and also a million years. I got to meet a lot of really cool people who gave me great advice. I got to reconnect with some people who I hadn't seen in a long time, and yeah, it was good. I mean, I feel like pretty confident now that, like, I could probably get some sort of job in my field. Pretty, like I could do that if I moved out there. So yeah, it's definitely like hard work. It's a totally different vibe than living in the Midwest, and it's scary, and I was so anxious the whole time I was out there, just like even thinking about it. And also just because I have really bad anxiety, I was just scared to meet new people. I was scared to get an Uber from the airport, and I almost puked in somebody's car who I hadn't seen in a long time because of anxiety. So that would have been bad, but I also have anxiety about vomiting, so I made sure that didn't happen. Coffee break. I recently discovered that I like soy lattes. I was always afraid to try soy milk, even though I'm like severely lactose intolerant. I've always just either drank dairy milk or like dealt with almond milk in my coffee and tea and stuff, because when my brother was little, he was allergic to milk, and so we always had soy milk before like other dairy-free milk was a thing that you could get. And I just have like this vague memory of being a little kid and like trying it one time and thinking it was the most disgusting thing in the world. So I've just never wanted to try it again, but I don't know, I was feeling wild the other day and I got a soy latte and I'm kind of obsessed now. I don't even, Steven, I swear to God. I don't even usually drink coffee, but since I got this, I've been drinking coffee like every day, and it's bad. My mom told me not to drink coffee past 4 p.m. like literally today she told me that, and I went to Starbucks at 7 to get this latte, so it's fine, everything's fine. Remember in September, the beginning of September, I filmed a wedding. That was fun and challenging, and I really liked it, and I finally finished editing it a couple weeks ago, and I really liked how it turned out. I still have another separate edit of the video that I still have to do, and I have so much other editing to do. I am working on my thesis for, I have to do a thesis because I'm in the honors college, and they make you do a thesis as a special requirement, which sucks, but I'm actually pretty proud of the project that I'm working on. It's a documentary series on opioid addiction in Michigan, and I have finished filming and everything. I'm just on to the editing part, but my professor wants me to get it done in the next like 2 weeks, which when she gave me that deadline was a lot more than 2 weeks, but here I am making a YouTube video instead of editing, because looking at all of the interviews that I filmed over the last year is very unsettling to me, because I just am so scared the whole time that I'm gonna find something that I messed up or that I can't go back and change now. So I've been avoiding it for such a long time. I've been avoiding a lot of editing. I've been avoiding a lot of my life in general, because it's so hard to like wrap up the end of your like youth when you graduate college and like be really responsible and figure out how to like transition into adulthood. And that sounds so stupid, because I know like I am an adult, like I'm 22 years old and all my friends already graduated college and have their stuff together and are living their adult lives, but I don't know, like, did everyone else struggle like this, or is it just me? It might just be me. It could very easily just be me, but like I'm trying to like move to LA because that's a thing that people do, but I have this lease here until like August. So like, how do you find someone to sublease from your apartment? How do you like stop paying student price on your Spotify subscription and your Adobe Creative Cloud subscription and start paying like $50 a month and like pay for your own bills, like adult bills? Dude, how do you make money? How do you make money? I don't make money. Like, I'm trying to like do film stuff in Los Angeles. Like, how do you make money to pay off your student loans? I don't get it. I'm sure it'll work out. Honestly, hate when everybody says like everything works out the way it's supposed to, or like everything happens for a reason and all those kind of cliches, but like I get why people say that to themselves, because if you don't believe that, or like you don't convince yourself that you believe that, like it's a lot of stress. And right now I'm feeling that stress. So I'm avoiding my life by literally only laying in bed and watching YouTube videos and playing with my cat and getting Starbucks and making this video and thinking about other YouTube videos that I should be making but I'm not making. Oh, and all the things that I shouldn't be doing. This past weekend I was on set for a short film I'm working on for one of my my only class that I have left. And that was really cool. I love being on set, even though like I don't always think that I want to go into like actual like film. I'm really interested in internet video for like a career, but I really like being on set for like short films, and it was a good time. It was very cold and we were filming outside one of the days, and our props included a mannequin, like a full-size naked male mannequin, and one of those like fake deer that you like people with guns shoot at for like hunting practice. So I've been lugging around a mannequin and like a fake deer carcass in the back of my car for the past like week or two, which is fun. And it was like a challenge to lug those things around the park where we were filming, and there was also a lot of fake blood involved on the set that I don't know how I got tasked with all the things, like making the fake blood and like lugging around and procuring these props, but I fell into it, and I'm just that kind of person who's gonna make sure that gets done. Ew, that sounded very stuck up. I didn't mean to sound stuck up. It's just true. I just care, okay? Yes. So, I got to smother the actors in fake blood, which was like the best part of the weekend. Maybe I will insert some BTS photos if I feel like it. But yeah, it was a good time. It made me like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of things in the past like month of my life have made me like really like reaffirmed that like I am doing what I need to be doing with my life. Like video production, film stuff like is like right for me for a career, but also like at the same time everything I do is like stressing me out so much more. Like it just makes it seem more real and more like get into panic mode. You have to figure out how to get a job, you know, you, that one person who's watching, who's probably my grandma, who I clearly am alone too much in my apartment. I heard somebody on a podcast talking about how he lived by himself for like too long, and he like knew that it was bad for him because he was such an introvert that he just like never left, and he was like okay with it. And that's really me. Like I don't leave, like unless I have class or I have to go to work, which I don't work that often, like two days a week to maybe 3. I just like stay in my bed and I order delivery food, or I like sometimes have food in my kitchen, and I never do anything else. Like I don't leave, which is so bad, but like I like really enjoy being alone. But anyway, the point of this was I can tell by how much I'm talking to this camera right now that I don't talk to people enough, because I could talk to this camera like it was a human for too long, like a concerning amount of time. And usually I'm not like that. Usually I'm like weird about talking to a camera, but here I am rambling on to nobody because I am alone. I seem like a crazy person today. The longer I live alone, the more I'm convinced that I could very easily be a crazy person. Like I could be a crazy cat lady. Like for fun, I look at all the like adoption cat websites and I think about like how many cats could I like plausibly fit into this studio apartment before it was a problem. Which is another thing that I'm very concerned about. Moving my cat to Los Angeles. The video I was gonna make about like moving in with my cat or whatever, was about how she's really bad at traveling and how it's just like such a hassle every time I go home because she like screams in the car. Like she screams, guys. Like she is not a happy girl. Like she meows like one long meow for the 2.5 hour car ride, and she never stops. She will not ever stop. Like no matter what I do, like I have tried everything. I've talked to the vet, I've tried everything, and it just, she can't handle it. And she's totally fine when she like gets to her location, but she just like really is unhappy when she's in the car. So I don't know how I'm gonna get her all the way to California. Like how does that work? Like what do people do to travel with their cats? Like obviously once she gets there, she's staying there, because like I'm not about to take her home for like holidays and stuff if it causes her that much trauma. But well, and it doesn't even really cause her trauma. Like she's like, I cannot stress enough that she is totally fine once you let her out of her cat carrier. And yes, I have tried letting her just ride outside of the cat carrier, and we all almost died. So that is not really an option. But I don't know what the answer is to this. I don't know how she's gonna get there, but she needs it. Like, I'm not the kind of person who's gonna be like, I need to rehome my cat because I decided to move to California and it's just not gonna work out. Like, I really despise when people have an animal and then they just like, it doesn't work for them, so they get rid of the animal. And like, I understand there's circumstances where you have to, but like, she's coming with me. We're very attached. She doesn't like anybody else except for me. Like, she is my child. But I gotta figure that out. Like, I need to consult more with the vet, I think, and see if there's like a medication I can give her that's safe for like to chill her out. I don't think that flying is the way, because I really think she would still cry the entire time and that would just be a nightmare and it would cause too many problems. So I'm probably gonna have to drive out to California with her. So if anyone's watching this and has any tips for how to travel that far with a cat who doesn't like to ride in the car, please let me know. I'm like really concerned about it. So please let me know. So that is an update on where I've been, what I've been doing, what I've been worried about, what I will be doing in the future, and just my life in general. Really, I have the most boring life. I really just go to class once a week, go home, go to bed, lay in bed, go to work, go to Starbucks, go back to bed, go to bed some more, go to bed some more, go to bed some more, play with my cat, and then go back to bed. And that's about it. So I'm really impressed that I could talk about things I've been doing for over 20 minutes. And yeah, my life is very boring. But there's a lot of really exciting prospects for my future. So that's cute and fun. Thank you guys for watching, if you even watched. I don't blame you again. Like, I really do not. You didn't hurt my feelings if you clicked away within the first 3 minutes. I don't blame you at all. But if you watched this, thank you. Feel free to like it so that I have some sense of validation for sitting in front of my camera like a crazy person, while the people on the other side of the wall probably wonder who the hell I'm talking to in my studio apartment. They probably know how much I talk to my cat, and they probably think that this is just one long, one-way conversation between me and Stevie. But they would be wrong. So, help me to not feel like a crazy person by liking or commenting or even subscribing. See you next time. I'm a crazy person.